representing Michael Washington. Leroy, glad to have you here. So I want to do this here. I want to play the video, but I need you to explain to us what happened before this. Now, first and foremost, folks who haven't seen this, this is the video that has gone viral of this officer tasing Michael Washington after he's already handcuffed and he's complying.
Right there in front of the car.
No, I wanted the audio up.
Stay stupid.
I ain't doing shit, but I got gun right there. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not, oh, my God. Okay. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God.
Everyone notice how she is taking pleasure in what she's doing right now.
You want it again? Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
You hear that? You want it again?
Wow. Leroy, first and foremost, who was shooting the video?
Right. Thank you so much for having us. That was Micaiah's younger brother, Shaquem, who was shooting the video. There were three of them that were pulled over, or not pulled over. They were on the side of the road trying to repair a tire on a vehicle, and fortunately, his brother whipped out his camera, and we saw what we saw. But leading up to that, it was just as bad.
So they were changing a tire.
Yeah, they were changing a tire, and as far as I know, being black and changing a tire is not illegal, not yet anyway. But that's exactly what they were doing, changing the tire on the side of the road. Officer came up on them, asked what they were doing. Micaiah made it clear, we're obviously changing the tire here. There's nothing illegal that we're doing at all. Why do you want my ID? She demanded the ID without asking or articulating any sort of criminal activity. Eventually, Micaiah did comply with giving her his ID, but he decided he was going to take out his phone and record, as everyone should do, film the police. As soon as she saw that and he hit the button to record, she immediately tased him the first time.
So, I'm trying to, okay. So
and that was just the first time, and then you're right, what you're saying is the second tasing. And so
he got tased twice.
He got tased twice, right. And so she tased him when he took out his phone to start recording, and he went to the ground. You see his phone beside him. She handcuffs him, and then you see his brother start filming as he's being lifted up off the ground after he's been handcuffed and being taken to the front of her hood. And that's when the sadistic assault and battery occurred at that point.
All right, so then you hear the language she uses against him. So we hear that. Then he gets arrested. Now, here's what I really find to be interesting. Walk us through, for people who don't know, walk us through what they charged him with.
All right, so this is where it gets wild. All right, so they charged him with a few things. They charged him with trafficking cocaine laced with fentanyl, an ex-felon in possession of a firearm, possession of marijuana, resisting arrest, obstruction of government operation. All right.
Okay. So let's walk through each one of those.
Yeah.
So what was the first one again?
Trafficking. You know what you see in the movies, all that other jazz.
So he was trafficking laced with fentanyl. Okay.
Cocaine laced with fentanyl.
Now we're watching the video here. So where did they claim this cocaine was?
So, according to what officers told him when he was over in booking in the jail, that the officer pulled a bag of cocaine laced with fentanyl out of his pocket right before she pulled the gun out of his pocket. And so we see the video
right here.
That's the problem. She wasn't aware of the video.
So the gun. She wasn't. So she wasn't aware. So how close were they standing? She wasn't aware they were shooting.
So he was a little bit further away. He was zoomed in. His brother was zoomed in on the video, but she was not aware that the brother was filming.
So I'm watching the video. We play the video right now. She pulls the gun out of his right pocket, At no point does she reach into his left pocket. At no point does she reach back into his pocket. She literally pulls nothing out of his pocket except the gun.
Exactly.
So
That's
where do these
nothing
guns come
but
from?
that's what we want to know. And so, of course, he gets bonded in on a $500,000 bond because he's in there for trafficking. No way he can make that bond. No way his family could get him out. It's absolutely absurd. But then the video comes out. His brother then lets the video out, and it hits the airwaves hard. It streams, it goes viral. And then all of a sudden, conveniently, the state moves to dismiss the charges for trafficking the fentanyl. They claim that there was a road test done and it came back as positive for fentanyl. Further testing showed that it was not fentanyl. I've done this sort of work for over a decade in criminal defense and civil rights. I've never once seen a forensic test come back on toxicology that fast outside of a field test. But apparently they did more testing, came back as not fentanyl, and they dropped that charge conveniently. In addition, the felon charge, ex-felon in possession of a firearm, that charge just disappeared. I didn't see a motion to dismiss it. I didn't see a judge or an order to dismiss it. That charge just up and vanished in smoke.
Wow.
And
Now,
so
here's the deal. Is he an ex-felon?
Absolutely not.
Wait,
Never been charged, arrested.
How's a man charged as being an ex-felon when he's not an ex-felon?
That's exactly our point. They, in a hustle and a bustle to try to come up.
You guys, I want to credit Roland Martin for this video, but I want to stop it right here and say that this is part of how they create victims for the purpose of private prisons. The man was not a felon. He had a FOID card. He had every right to have the firearm. He didn't have drugs on him. He did not have fentanyl. Who was he trafficking? The people in the car with him were in the car with him. So why all these made up charges? And her big, humongous, among us forehead ass should not have ever worn a badge. She's disgraceful to the uniform. And her face, while she was tasing him, she didn't know anybody was watching. This isn't her first rodeo. He's not her first victim. And it's not something that she just woke up and had a bad day over.
With charges, they just start throwing charges at them. How do you go through the process of deciding someone is a felon enough to put felony possession of an ex-felon in possession of a firearm charge against someone? That's a process that you have to go through to ensure they're a felon. Clearly, they either didn't go through the process, didn't think through the process, or they just threw charges up against them, hoping it would stick. And of course, that charge is no longer there because he was not a felon whatsoever. And it's our expectation that the remaining charges will ultimately be dismissed as well.
So, I mean, what's astounding here is it's just, man, just pile on. And we see this. We see this happen all the time to African Americans. And let's just be real. If this video does not exist, first of all, now this officer, does she wear a body camera?
Now, looking at the video that the brother took, it looks like I couldn't tell if she was wearing a body cam or if that was just
a radio or something.
Microphone, a radio, right, exactly. I couldn't tell, but we do know from Micaiah when he was in the vehicle, he said the dash cam was completely unplugged. He saw wires hanging from it, but nothing was plugged in. And so we're not aware if she was wearing a body camera or not. But I imagine if she had been wearing a body cam, that function would have been turned off or just not available. Thank God his brother was filming, or else he'd be still behind bars, from my calculation, on a $500,000 bond, rotting away.
Why LA women